What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Let me get myself set up here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Mm. Hey, I don't own any rights to the music, guys. I don't own any rights to the music. We're going to vibe out a little bit before I share some important information with you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yes. I love this song. I don't even know all the words. I don't understand all the words. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday, guys. Hope that everyone is having an amazing, amazing day. Hope that everyone is having an amazing Friday. Listen, guys, I wanted to share some information. Let me turn this down. So 10 important reasons. I call this live video 10 important reasons. I hope that everyone's having an amazing day. If anyone is on here and you're watching the live stream, drop a 1. If you're watching a replay, I want you to drop a 2. If you're watching this live right now, drop a 1 in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, drop a 2. I wanted to share some very important information with y'all. And so that's why I call this 10 important reasons. What are the 10 important reasons? What is it that I'm about to share with y'all tonight? See, I'm fired up. It's 2022. Still the first month of the year. And people are, they have their how they call it, New Year's resolutions, things that they want to do, right? And a lot of people that I'm connecting with and I'm speaking with, they want to build something. People want to build. They want to leave a legacy. They want to positively impact their families. They want to make a difference in the lives of themselves, their families, and the community. And so one of the basic ways to do that is simply to establish what we call a will. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it because, a will is a document that really has its power after you pass. So after you die, we're adults, after you die, you're going to have property and assets. But the thing is that if you don't have a will set in place, it could be very, very messy for your family, the people who you said that you want to build that legacy for, right? So I want to share with y'all 10 important reasons to have a will set in place, okay? So number one, and you could check one of my posts that I did, I think it was like last week or earlier this week, and it was about what is a will, and it's a legal document that basically designates and distributes where your assets will go when you're no longer able to do that, when you pass, okay? So there's 10 reasons, 10 important reasons why a person should have a will. Number one, you could save money, time, and stress for your loved ones. Saving time, money, and stress for your loved ones, your family. Check this out, guys. If you do not have a will set in place, your family has to go through a process. It's called intestate. So INTESTATE. Intestate administration. That can get complicated. It's time consuming and it's very expensive. We have a business partner who, unfortunately, prior to her getting educated with this information, she didn't know anything about this, and her family didn't know anything about this. And when her dad passed, she had a sister. They didn't have a will set in place. They didn't have anything established. Her father didn't. So they had to make a GoFundMe for his funeral and then had to go through probate. It's a long, drawn-out process where you're going through the courts and having the courts to decide where your assets are going to go. So reason number one that you want to make sure that you have a will set in place is you want to save money, time, and stress for the people who you're building that legacy for. Reason number two, you can determine who will manage your estate. You see, when you create a will, you're called a testator. But the person who's going to execute that, make sure that everything goes to where you want it to go, they're called the executor. So you want to make sure that you choose an executor who you trust, somebody who you trust. Otherwise, if you don't, the court will choose one for you. And it might not be somebody who you want. Let's say if you have a ex-wife or an ex-husband, a lot of times when you pass, all your property goes to that person. But if you decide that you don't want to remarry in your life and you have an ex-wife, ex-husband, you can choose, I want this person, a different person, to be my executor. So reason number 2, you can decide who will be able to manage the account for you. Reason number 3, you can decide who gets your assets. If you especially the way that our families are created now, a lot of blended families and different things like that, it could be really confusing if you don't have it written down on paper who gets your assets and who does not get your assets. So number 3, you want to be able to decide who gets those assets that you leave behind, right? The house, the car, whatever it may be, the pets. Number 4, this is important. This is very important. If you have children, drop children in the chat, or drop kids. Let's make it real simple. Drop kids, KIDS. If you have kids, you will be able to decide and choose who will be the person that will take care of your minor children. If you have kids, you can decide that in your will. Now, I want you guys to think about that, because if you are a single parent, for example, and you don't have someone, a spouse, maybe you want to have your grandma or their grandma watch the kids, keep the kids when you pass, right? So reason number 4, and it's very important, you're going to be able to decide and choose who will take care of your minor children when you have a will. If you don't have a will, okay, the court will decide who takes care of your minor children. And that's a scary thing. So you definitely want to make sure that you're choosing who will take care of your minor children if you have kids. And the way to do that is by establishing a will. Reason number 5, if you have pets, if maybe you don't have kids, maybe you have pet babies, right? Puppies, cats, whatever. You can provide a home for your pets. You can actually choose who your pets will go to if you have a will set in play. Okay? That's important. That's important. You want to make sure that Chi-Chi is taken care of. You want to make sure Chi-Chi got a home after you pass, right? Guys, for y'all who don't know me, I'm a tea girl. I love me some tea, so I had to warm up with a cup of tea while I'm doing this, right? And then number 6, you can leave instructions for your digital assets. What are digital assets? Your Facebook page. Maybe you have a YouTube page. Maybe you have an email. You can actually decide who gets those digital assets and what happens with those accounts and things like that after you pass. So you can choose, hey, my executor, I want you to go ahead and close out my Facebook page after I pass. Whatever the case may be. But you can decide and leave instructions for your digital assets. Number 7. This is important. To me, this is important. I'm a family-oriented woman. I love my family. For those of y'all who know me, my family's in Boston, Massachusetts. I've been down here in Tampa, Florida about 7 years. It'll be 8 years in September. And so I'm huge on family, and I love, building family, building community. That's what I'm about. So number 7, that reason why you want to get a will. You can lower the potential for family disputes. Unfortunately, when you don't have a will set in play, a lot of times your heirs, so your kids, they don't know what to do, where you want your assets and things to go, and that leads to a lot of arguments, a lot of heated discussions, a lot of arguments. Unfortunately, a lot of times when people pass, families get broken apart because the assets weren't divided up, and they had to go through this probate process, this time-consuming and expensive process, and it leads to a lot of arguments. And the last thing that I want to do is to pass and to leave my family, how do I say, put more strain on them and their relationship. I want them to continue to keep that family bond and that love. But a lot of times, unfortunately, and if you guys watching this can relate, maybe you know a family, or maybe even yourself part of a family where somebody passed and you didn't have the will set in place, and now you don't talk to your brother and your sister, and now you don't talk to whoever, right? Because these things were not set in place. So you definitely want to make sure that you're eliminating, if possible, the potential for family disputes. And the way to do that after you pass is by going ahead, creating the will. Number 8, supporting your favorite causes and leaving a legacy. Now, for me, for those of you guys who don't know me, every month, my team and I, we go and we feed the homeless. One of the things that I want to do is I want to create a safe house. I want to be able to help the homeless, to help those without, and donate to causes such as that, donate to churches as well. In my will, I can put that in there. You can designate which causes you want to support. So even after you pass, you can still be creating and leaving that legacy that we all talk about, right? That's huge. Number 9, this is important. I just talked about this, references earlier. You can provide funeral instructions. If you don't have a will set in play, guys, a lot of times, the money is not there, whatever the case may be, you're going to have to do that GoFundMe and asking for different family members to arrange a funeral. It's already enough that you're not there. So you want to make sure that you're having these things set in place so that it's all written, it's all clear. One of my good friends, she had an uncle who passed, and God bless this man's soul, God rest his soul. He had everything lined up. So there was no family disputes. And even how he wanted his funeral to be. Wouldn't you like to have that kind of control even after you pass? I know that I would. So reason number 9, you can provide funeral instructions. And number 10, it's easy to make a will, and most important, to gain that peace of mind. Guys, there's one thing you can't put a price on it. It's a peace of mind. You might be able to buy security systems and guns and different things like that, but a peace of mind is valuable, it's priceless. So when you have a will set in place, you can gain yourself a peace of mind. Most people don't do it, a will, because 1, they don't want to think about themselves passing, and 2, they assume that their family will automatically receive their inheritance. But that's not true. It's not true. Probate, which is a process that happens after you pass, it can be long, it can be expensive. You don't want to be going through that interstate process. Just have everything written out. Have everything written out for you and your family. So you might be asking Angel, hey, all this sounds good, but where do I start? There's different places that you can get a will. With my company, it's such a blessing. We offer so much value. It's more than just credit. We offer a will with the My Care plan. This is my will. You can keep it in a binder. Have this for forever. You can get it updated when you need to, when things change, right? And have it. So the My Care plan is one company that provides a will and a trust. We provide a will and a trust for our clients. I wanted to share this with you guys because look at what's going on right now. Everything that's happening in the community with all these viruses, right? These viruses, it started off with one thing and now it's mutating into different things. We don't know what life is going to bring tomorrow. It's not guaranteed. It's not promised. So you want to make sure that if you're talking about leaving a legacy for your family and for your loved ones, that you're doing it in the right way. Having everything official. It can cost thousands of dollars to do a will, but with our program, it's included. So I wanted to come on here. I wanted to share this information with you. 10 important reasons why you should have a will set in play. I hope that I left some value, gave you guys something to think about, because each one of y'all are important. Each one of you guys have purpose in your life. And if you're talking about leaving a legacy, if you have kids, or even if you don't have kids, if you have things that you want to leave behind, make sure that you do it the right way. So and leave your comments. I want to know what's going on with y'all, how you guys feel about this, what I just shared. What are your experiences with having a will, without having a will, in your life? I want to know. Let's share, let's talk, let's chat. It's your girl, Angel White, at Angel White Enterprises. I love y'all. Peace. Have a great night.